the word prepared. We're talking about something being set up ahead of time. Right. Listen, in anticipation for what is to come. Right. Do I have a witness? Right. But watch it. The reason God is able to set up our prepared situation is because not only does he know us, but he also knew us. I said, not only does God know us, but he knew me. Watch this now. Look, I heard God tell Jeremiah, before I formed you in the belly, he said, I knew you. Look, God is the only one that I know that can knew you before knowing you. I said the English language said that I got to know you before I can know you. But we dealing with God. Knew you before knowing you. Impossible because that's God. Don't mean nothing more. Say always. Instead of always. Y'all don't hear what I'm talking about. I said God knew you before knowing you. But we're not dealing with the things. God knew you in the past before he ever put you in the present. He knew you before knowing you because he knew what he was working with before he ever put it together. We're going to get this thing. David put it like this. He said, God's eyes saw his soul. You wasn't even nothing but a little substance. But God already knew what he was going to make when he saw that little substance. That's why you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are a unique human being. And guess what? You look good. Anybody here that don't think you look good, stay seated. God knew what he was going to make out of you. Before God ever put you together, before he formed you, he already knew that he was going to have to prepare some stuff for you to help you along this journey. How many of you know God knows you? Don't you know God knows you? He knows what he's working with when he's working with you. God knows you're a killer lie. God knows that you will show up when you get there. God knows that you will shout in the church house one minute and come down in the street the next. I said, God knows you. Don't think that God don't know who you are. God knows that sometimes you'll shout to get us back on track. Somebody ought to tell God, thank you. You know you was off track. Ain't the only one been. Ain't you been off track. You been so far off track you couldn't even hit a train coming. I know I ain't the only one. Y'all might be tell you. All my every time in my life in the spiritual walk that I've been passed up that I done got off track. In my life that brought me back. Did it bring you back? You were glad to get back. That place almost ran back. We were so happy to get back. I said, he knows you. And look, since he knew you before knowing you, he already knows your end from your beginning. So watch it by him knowing all that about you. By him knowing your information from the past, the present, and the future. He knows what to prepare for you ahead of time before you get there so that you can get some help. See, that's what we're trying to get you to see is God's prepared situation is a situation that has already been put in place by God before you ever get there. You didn't even know you were going to end up there. But God did. We were wondering how you ended up there. But God had a situation prepared to meet you there. And what's so awesome about God's prepared situation, he knows just what and who to use in order to help you. Somebody ought to be blessed. Listen, before Elijah got to the brook, God had a prepared situation already in place. He had already talked to the birds and told the birds that when Elijah gets there, I want you to feed him. Before Elijah got to Zarephath, there was a widow that God had already prepared to feed Elijah when he got there. I read that Abraham was about to take his only son Isaac and put him on the altar, laid him on the altar, tied him down, drawed his arm back, and was about to kill his only son. But just like God did for the rest of them, he had something prepared for him. I heard you say it was a ram caught in the thicket. And Abraham was able to sacrifice a ram instead of sacrificing his son. And finally, we just heard on Wednesday night, before he allowed Balaam to get his head cut off, he had a prepared situation in place to help Balaam. God used what was supposed to be stubborn to help somebody that was stubborn. I wish I had it. God took a stubborn donkey and made that donkey talk just so he can help Balaam. So he wouldn't get his head cut off. In all these situations, God knew what he was working with. He knew them before knowing them. He knew what to put in place to get them back on track. And now in our text, God knew what he was working with when he first told Jonah to go down to Nineveh. The Bible said, not a word of the Lord came unto Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, arise, go down to Nineveh. You know that great city. And cry against it. That's like preach to me. Jonah, go down to Nineveh and cry against that city. Because their wickedness has come up before me. God knew before he told Jonah that he wasn't going to go right then. I said he knew when he told Jonah that Jonah was going to flee from his presence, that he was going down to Joppa to pay the fare thereof and catch him a ship and go in the opposite direction and attempt to head down the Tarshish. God knew that this Jonah was going to be a hard-headed Jonah. He knew that this Jonah wasn't going to obey him in the beginning. He knew that this Jonah wasn't going to want to was going to end up thrown into the sea. Somebody said, thank God for his prepared situation. And since he knew that he was going to end up in the sea, the Bible says he prepared a great fish to swallow up Jonah. My brother and sister, I don't know how long that fish had been swimming out there in the sea. I don't even know if it was a blue whale, a gray whale, a white whale, a humpback whale, a fin whale, a sperm whale, a orca whale. I don't even know what kind of whale it is. And to be honest with you, I don't even care. Hey, the scholars might want to know, but I don't care what kind it is. All I know, it was a prepared fish that was given a prepared purpose to work out God's prepared situation. Do I have a witness? I don't know what that fish was doing before Jonah showed up. But one thing I do know about that fish had been given a divine appointment. And that he had to keep. That fish, when Jonah showed up, had to stop doing what he was doing. God told the fish, Jonah on the way. He could have been down there playing with the other school of fish. But when Jonah showed up, God had already prepared this fish to go get Jonah. I'm so glad, y'all, that God prepares ahead of time before we get there. He already knows that we're going to need some preparation. But watch this, y'all. I need you to see something. Look where Jonah ended up. The Bible didn't have to tell us what part of the fish Jonah was in. But it did that for a reason. Notice where he was. The Bible said he ended up in the belly of the fish. Look, although Jonah ended up in the belly of the fish, get this now, he was in the belly of what God had already prepared. I said he was in the belly of what God had already prepared. Look, somebody in here might be in a dark place in your life. You might be in a place that you just don't see no way out. But I need you to know today that you just might be in the belly of what God has prepared. You might not have known it before now, but Jonah is not the only one that's been in the belly of the fish. Yeah, if you are saved now, you've been in the fish's belly too. Look, just like Jonah, you would have died if God let you stay out there in that rough water. You would have died if God would have left you out there in that cruel world, treating you any kind of way. But God put you in the fish's belly. Just like Jonah, you could have died in your trespasses and sins. But God sent your prepared